Hello, hello, hello. I got my Play-Doh, just called Dow. Okay, so I'm going to put this over here, and then I will use this as a paint container. So this gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. Yay! These make the best paint containers. So I'm going to make a video with this clay as the sun is still up. And I have mixed myself a nice perfume oil. It smells really strong and wonderful. This is really nice. This is my drug. It's nice. So I'm gonna make a flying spaghetti monster today. This is good. Smells good. There's a lot of stuff I want to talk about. A lot of stuff. I'm going to start with what Annalise told me, my child play therapist. She told me that in the 80s she went into a prison, I think a high security prison in Germany, and she was talking there. She felt sorry for the prisoners. She was talking to prisoners, men actually, she was talking to, who had committed murders and stuff like that. And she was talking to this one guy, I guess like as a visitor, they have high security visitor connection with the bulletproof glass or whatever in between them. And I guess they use the phone to talk to each other, but they could see each other. And so she would just go in there as a volunteer, psychologist, and talk to these people because she felt sorry for them. She knew that they were suffering. And this one guy was quite grateful to her for talking to him. And he said he has a lot of rage in him, a lot of rage. And his whole life he felt wronged by people, and everyone was just trying to make his life miserable, trying to make him feel miserable. And she just let him talk. And he couldn't cry, and he was just angry and just felt like retaliating and was in that mental state. And she let him talk, and that's really good. And then at some point she knew that the time was ready for him, for 444. Thank you, Blue God. The angels are protecting us. Okay. She knew that at some point that Now was the time for her to say to him, and you can always cry. There's always the option of crying. And when she said that, he started to cry. He started to sob and cry rivers right in front of her. He cried and cried and cried and cried. And she sat there and she looked at him and she nodded. She didn't say anything, she just let him cry. And she let him feel safe, and she let him know by nodding that she understands him. She looked at him in a way to say, I see your pain, I see your suffering. When I'm not triggered, I see everyone. I see everyone suffering and I see people's pain. And I feel sorry and I feel compassion. And I say the same thing to people that Annalise said to the prisoner. I say, you can cry. You can cry. Of course you can. If you don't feel safe crying in front of anyone, not even a therapist, then you can go sit on the couch and you can look into the sky and you can say, Blue God, I suffer. You can say that. Blue God, I suffer. I do it all the time. And you can allow yourself to feel sorry for yourself. Not in an act out towards other people, but on the couch where nobody else is there. You can look at the blue God and you can say, Blue God, I suffer. And you can tell the blue God everything you want to say. Everything. Go out into nature where nobody is spying on you. Okay. If that makes you feel safer. And you look into the sky or you look at an animal, a deer. Yesterday when we came back, I was out on the lawn getting grounded. It was already dark outside and suddenly I see a deer, Bambi deer, mama deer, standing right next to Kenny's grave, looking at me silently, with the ears perked forward, like, who is that? I'm scared, but I'm curious. And that's what she was thinking. I'm scared but curious. Maybe she has an apple for us. I just sat there. I was about to get up, but I stayed where I was sitting on the lawn. And I looked at her and I talked to her gently with love, infinite love. Hello, sweet, sweet Bambi dear. You can talk to an animal. Okay, the animal's not gonna judge you. You can tell the animal your life story. I've done that in LA. I had nobody to talk to at some many times where I'd walk home from the Primal Center when I lived in Mar Vista, Culver City. I would walk home. That felt good also. And I think it was, I forgot now, I think it was Santa Monica Boulevard. I was walking. There was one stretch where there was a huge property next to the sidewalk, and that property was they had like a Berlin Wall surrounding and along the sidewalk. The wall was up to my eye level, kind of, or like to here, and there were palm trees on the other side on that property, and suddenly an opossum climbed up on one of the palm trees and went on the wall and looked at me like this, Klaus, like this, like with the pointy nose, like that. And I said, "Opossum, my God, thank you for visiting me." And the opossum conveyed a message and said, "I will walk with you for as long as this wall goes." And he walked next to me as I walked. And he walked in exactly the same speed. He kept looking at me as he was walking, like he was in a conversation with me. And that touched me so deeply that I cried. And I said, "Opossum, I suffer." And that feels so good, to say that to an innocent animal who, they're not going to judge you. It feels genuine. It feels safe. It feels safe to say that to the blue god, the sky, the blue sky, to plants, to trees, needle trees, opossums, dogs, all animals, cows, horses. You can talk to them gently. They don't judge you. They're gentle to you, always. I netted some of the perfume oil into this. That smells good. So that's a really nice story that Anneliese told me about talking to the prisoner and making him feel safe so that he could cry and feel some relief. I had that tension released in him, the tension of retaliation and anger and like this, relief that breathe everything out. Breathe the blue god in and breathe the tension out, and all of those retaliation thoughts. And there's also the Björkstaka that I want to talk about. these videos, they are suggested to me on the site, and they don't appear there for no reason. It's not totally random. So they come in relation to what I talk about in my videos. Okay. And in response to also the videos in general that I watch. And also energetic patterns, of course. I observe a lot of tension in people. A lot of tension, a lot of emotional pain from the past that has never been processed, that gets triggered in the present, and they don't know how to process this at all. So this Björk stalker, Lopez, was I think Ricky Lopez. 300 pounds. He shaved his head. He put makeup. He put red paint on his man boobs. He was completely... He looked like he had driven himself into insanity. He put stripes on his face. And he was fanatically in love with Björk, the singer from Iceland. And instead of meditating and saying, I can't have Björk, this is the reality of it, right? I can't have Björk, okay? She's a celebrity. She doesn't know anything about me. Yeah. My voice doesn't reach her. Okay. There are millions of men wanting Björk. Okay. And the stalker sits on the couch and could say, I can never have Björk. Now that's the entry point into the ego dissolution funnel. That's where the relief is. He thinks he gets relief from masturbating. It feels like relief to the ego in all of this. It's a momentary physical relief, but there's nothing wrong with it. But it's not the emotional relief that he needed to heal himself, okay? So he never sat on the couch and meditated on it. He never did. Instead, he drove himself more and more and more into the obsession with Björk. Okay. More and more, watched everything every show she's on, every live concert, everything, animation shows she did, and cool, he thinks she's cool. I'm not laughing, sorry, I'm not laughing about it. I really am not, okay, it's just situationally related when I laugh. I'm not laughing about someone. I see this in the whole world, They think they are insignificant, and the singer is a goddess. star, you know, my star, my goddess. It's not good. That's why I laugh. It's so tragic, all of this. Tragic. So he drove himself more and more into insanity because he wants her and he can't have her, and he still hopes for her. And I've been in that situation many times. But at some point I always recognize, man, you know, it's madness here, okay? Quit doing the madness. I even consulted a therapist. I paid $700 for a session on the internet. Crazy. To get my mind off James Hetfield. That was in 2010. That was crazy. I mean, really crazy. I went through all of these things. So I know how that feels, you know. I wrote him love letters. I know he saw it because, and the other guys from Metallica saw it too. That's how they get people to write their lyrics, by the way. I don't know if they use my lyrics, but they use people's fan letters as, you know, so-called ghost writers that write love letters, and then they make a song out of it. Or they get ideas from people's poetry and stuff like that. Usually people write poetry when they have a love ache of some sort, you know. Happened to me a lot. So that Ricky Lopez, he wrote all kinds of things to Björk. She never got it. She's bombarded with millions and millions of fan letters. There's no way she can even read all of that. No way. Okay. Thank you, Blue God. The angels are protecting us. So he drove himself more and more and more into insanity. He wanted to merge with her. He wanted to become her at some point. That's when insanity takes over completely on another level. He wants to eat her, right? Like literally, you know. There was a movie in Germany once called Fan Fanatic or something. And a woman was fanatically in love with a male singer. At some point, she was able to groupie him and got into his house and slept with him. And he said, I have to go. I have to go back to my girlfriend. I'm busy. I have this and this and this and this. And she thought, no. You're not going back to your girlfriend. You're not going to make another record. Okay, I'm gonna eat you. And that's what she did. It was a horror movie. I didn't watch it. Thank you, no, I'd rather not. So, she killed him, she cut him up, she ate him, lived in his house until, you know, that's total insanity. These things happened, you know. This is not just fiction. Until law enforcement found her, you know. And these things happen. They go into insanity until they're either found in their insanity, they're eating legs, or they find them after they have shot themselves or whatever. So in this case of Ricky Lopez, he he couldn't handle it that Björk got herself a boyfriend and it was public, and he felt personally offended by that, when there's no personal offense in that at all. But he drove himself into this fantasy world where she was part in that fantasy world, and she better not behave in any other way other than that he deployed her into that fantasy world. So then she acts differently because she doesn't even know about his fantasy world. She is her own person. She lives her life. She has a boyfriend. He could not tolerate that. It made him completely lose it. So he made suicidal videos. I guess that's how they found out what happened, what was going on. And he made videos of making some kind of letter bomb for her. And he sent the letter bomb off to her. He found out where she lives in Iceland. And that day that he sent off the letter bomb, he shot himself, I guess, after he made that video and uploaded the video about what he is going to do. And people see this, they report this, and also there's also programs that will report this, of course, that are already programmed to alert law enforcement authorities on these kind of things. And that's what happened. And the most bizarre thing is that Björk said that she was only 2 blocks away from him in a hotel or something. Just 2 blocks away from him, where he was living because she was on tour. Where he was living in the United States somewhere. I don't know where that was. So, and she didn't know anything about it. And then she flew back home, and this letter bomb flew with her on the same plane, believe it or not. And then she was caught at the airport in Iceland, and they talked to her. They had to tell her what was going on, and they tried to protect her, and they detected that letter bomb, and they secured that as well. So they saved her life with modern day AI, robotics, computerization technology. So that saves lives, okay? There's always plus and minus. Then with that technology also comes spying on people, and this spying on people can make people more insane. I try to help you with my videos and with whatever I say in front of my computer. Okay. Sharing my own stories, my own mental illness with you. Telling you I'm not a god, or God is. Certainly not a god or goddess. Far from it. I am an indigo. I'm in the middle of soul development. I've had many lifetimes in the past. I've seen a lot. I've experienced a lot. I still have a lot of pain that needs to be processed. Okay. I have fear. I have paranoia. I have terror. All. OCD rituals. You know it. You see it. You hear me do it. Okay. Here's the yellow rose for you. that's upstairs. So I'm gonna make a video with my clay figures. That's maybe tomorrow I'll make a video with them. I just wanted to make the flying spaghetti monster right now because that had been sitting already in the kitchen this year, waiting to be made into a flying spaghetti monster. So let me see. So how do I make this flying spaghetti monster now? Let's see. I'm just gonna let my mind flow, my hands flow with this, flow with the flow of this flying spaghetti. Whatever this feels right to me, in that moment. That's art, That's a meditation also. You don't think about something that you have to, now you have to think about like making something that looks identical to something else. No, of course not. Let yourself flow with this. Flow with it. Whatever it feels good to you, the inner triad in that moment, Forget about society, all of that. While you're making this, forget yourself one, okay? Get it at the Dollar Tree store. They don't sell things for $1 anymore. Joe Biden made the Dollar Tree store raise their prices because the economy is falling, okay? So you'll get this maybe for $1.50 or I don't know. You get 4 in a package, so you still get this one for under $1, of course. Maybe you pay 30 cents or 40 cents for this. Still good. So get that and just start to make something with it. And cry if you need to cry, It's very important to cry. Cry it all out. Flying spaghetti monster. Let's see. No? Yeah. He has eyes. This is gonna look nothing like the flying spaghetti monster, but that's why I'm an artist. I don't imitate other people. I'm just calling it for fun, flying spaghetti monster. Yeah, this is really, he's gonna have hair like this. Hello, I'm the flying spaghetti monster. No. That's funny. That's real sad, real tragic what happened to Ricky Lopez. Real tragic. My message to the world, to those men who can't be nice to women because they're mad at them. Mad. Always mad. Instead of acting it out, sit down on the couch and feel it. Feel what it feels like. The women don't even understand you, what's wrong with you. They have no idea why you are acting weird. They don't know. They have no idea. Why is that guy acting like that? Why is he blocking me all the time? I gave him love. It's like, what's wrong, you know? I don't understand. Doesn't make any sense. Makes no sense at all. Don't let anything out on other living beings, whoever that they are, dogs, horses, women. Don't let it out on other people. Sit down in meditation. Don't act it out on the internet. If you need to say something to the woman, say it to her face. Okay. Say, you made me sad. Okay. That's honest. Okay. Then we can talk about it. Then a woman can say, what do you mean? I mean, when? What happened? When did I make you sad? When did I make you suffer? And then you can say, because you were talking to that other guy. Because you have a date. I don't have a date. I'm single. Or, I mean, whatever the conversation is about, right? When did I make you feel like this? You know, what happened? Well, you were flirting with another guy. I wasn't. I was just being nice. I'm not flirting. You know, in regards to my own situation, I fell in love with Danny. It is what it is, you know. And I want to set the record straight with all of this, you know. I'm not a creep. I don't run after anyone. Okay. I don't. I'm very passive when it comes to these kind of things. With dating and stuff, I'm very, very passive. In bed too, I'm really passive. Really passive. But I'm not doing bondage or something like this. I like it gentle. I love Danny, okay, so that's what I feel. And why should I hide this? I'm not gonna hide it. Why should I play some kind of like gaming face or something? No, that's not me. Yeah. I don't play those games. When I fall in love with a man, I say it. This is what I feel, okay? And whenever I think about Danny, I smile. It's really strange. I've been observing this now for quite a while. I know he has also blocked me a lot, and he has also been mean to me. He has been hiding from me, and I thought, oh well, you know, he doesn't like me, okay. But I always smiled when I think of him, always smiled. And he has a girlfriend. I'm not going to take him away from her. They have a baby together. They have to be there for the baby. You have to be there for your baby, okay? Don't make your baby suffer, okay? You have to be there for your baby. You have to change the diapers, both of you, okay? So you have to do that. It's very important. I mean, I wouldn't make my boyfriend change the diapers if he doesn't want to do that. I wouldn't force him to do that. I never mind changing the diapers. Okay. God, if I had a baby, I would be so overprotective with that baby. I'd be the ultimate mother hen. That's what I am. That's who I am. I never complained about cleaning up the dog poop. I like doing that, it gives me the chance to go out. It forces me to go outside and walk around in the garden and clean the poo-poo up. So I don't mind. The smell of the poo-poo doesn't bother me, whether that's poo-poo from a dog or a human baby, doesn't bother me, at all. It doesn't bother me. I don't know if I could do this for an old person. I doubt it. I mean, you have to really love someone to not mind, and love a human to not mind that. I kind of have a little bit of a trauma. So, in regards to the human species, that also made me become an antinatalist in the past. I'm not an antinatalist anymore. If I would get pregnant, I would keep the baby. I would. That's crazy. It's like, the antinatalists, they would throw a cake in my face if they heard me say that. They would come after me with pitchforks. You Satan. See, just a different camp of belief system, equally pitchforky as the fundamentalist Christians. That's why I don't belong to any group, okay? No group. No cult can ever lure me in. Wouldn't matter what cult that is. Could be Mother Earth worshippers. I love Mother Earth. Okay. But I'm not gonna be in some kind of cult or religion. That's ridiculous. I'm the total mother hen. Mother. Mother hen. Smother. No, I don't smother. I'm very gentle. Yeah, this is the flying spaghetti once. This is free from convention. This is cult free. It's even free from the flying spaghetti monster cult, from the atheist community. This is not an atheist. This thing here is a panpsychist. Full force. Panpsychists are not cultish. They're individuals that just view things like that, in the same way that someone says, "I am a lover. I'm a panpsychist. I love all beings. I know that everything is conscious in the infinite cosmos." It's getting gradually colder and colder and colder and colder and colder and colder. I'm going to turn the heater on. Okay. There. I had to do this. Yeah. So when Bjork got a boyfriend, Ricky Lopez lost it. And he lost it because he created a fantasy world out of Bjork. He kidded himself with that fantasy island world that she was part of unknowingly. And then he wants to kill her because he sees she's not part of that fantasy island world. She's her own person. That's madness. I recommend to people to not let themselves go in that direction. It's not good for you. Okay. If you like a woman, you go up to that woman and look her in the eyes. You have to. You have no other choice. Don't embed her into your fantasy island world out of fear that if you actually went up to her, she could say no, right? It's not the end of the world if she says no. But instead you're so afraid that she might say no or not like you that you'd rather make an animation avatar out of her in your fantasy snapshot world. Okay. It's what Sam Vaknin talks about. Watch his videos, I highly recommend it to you. Watch his videos. Introspect. Okay. See yourself. All right. Cool. Yeah, it's cool.
I have to call.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm almost done with the video. Almost done. This is flying spaghetti monster. It flies through the air like this. So give me 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. I have one more thing to say. One more thing. Okay. If you like a woman, okay, you go up to her and you look her in the eyes and you say, I love you. I like you. Do some Simpsaurus talk. Okay. Don't be afraid of that. Okay. Do it. Women like that. Okay. I like it when a man says, I like your videos, they're cool, they make me feel better. I like that. That feels good. That's not simping. I like it when someone says, I love you, I like you, I love your body. You can say sexual things to me. I like it. Turns me on. Okay. It's nice. But it's not sexual to say to a woman, ew, you gross or whatever. That's not that doesn't turn a woman on. So I mean, this should go without saying, actually. I mean, it's why is it so difficult to understand that you can't I mean that if you insult a woman, that she's not gonna go for you, right? She's gonna move on. It's like, okay, bro, whatever. Yeah, I'll talk to the other guy who's nicer, right? So, so Danny is a lot nicer to me, has always been nicer to me. And even though he has also blocked me and stuff, has been mad at me and all that, I didn't really quite understand why. But he is light years nicer. He would never come up to me and say extremely cruel things. That's what I believe. Okay. I just don't think that was Danny. I think the real cruel thing, real cruel stuff came from Philip Jones, who is Tex-Mex, and from Zane, who is all these other accounts, Starshine and Jamazing Jason, and that's all Zane, I think. What happens is when you are too afraid to go up to someone and be nice to someone, and then maybe get rejected, that, there's a possibility. There's always this possibility, right? But that's part of life, man, okay? But if you don't dare to go up to the woman and say, I love you, then you will never meet her. And then you put her into a fantasy island world where you feel like it's safe to have her in that. But then she lives her life differently to that fantasy world, and then you want to kill her, you want to retaliate. I see these Ricky Lopez's in the chat room. Okay. That's why I brought it up. And I'm worried for you. I'm worried for your own mental safety. That's why I talk about these things. I have given many of them an equal chance of meeting me, of becoming my friend. They blew it. Was there fear? Was there ego? Was there anger? Was there hate? Don't do it. Don't do that to yourself. Okay? You have only yourself to blame, Philip, for the way you have treated me. Okay. I gave you a chance. I really did. I gave Zane a chance. Whenever I thought about Danny, I smiled. This made me feel bad thinking about Danny. But I'm not taking a man away from a woman. I don't want to do that. I just want you to know I love you and I care about you very deeply. You are hot, okay? You are the hottest man in the world. And I think it's very important for me to say this publicly, because I don't want anyone else to think that I'm in your fantasy world, or that there is some kind of hope or something that I will go for anyone else. Okay, I'm not. So I know who I want. I want Danny, and that's it. And yeah, they threatened to kill me for that already. Last day I was at the other house, at the California house. The last night in the chat room, they threatened to kill me. Yeah. Because I love Danny and not them. I'm in love with Danny. So now they want to kill me. My message to them is, watch the video about Ricky Lopez and see yourself in the mirror. And don't go that route. Don't do that to yourself. You blew it, you blew it. I've given, and I was nice to everyone, okay? Given people the opportunity to be my friend, and like I said, who knows? Whoever does want me, if I don't want them, so if I can't get Danny later on or whatever, then, and I don't want to take him away from his girlfriend and family, but I have given people the chance. I've given Philip the chance, I thought, okay, Philip wants me and he's single, then that would be, I wouldn't break anyone's heart, okay? So I've given him the chance, but he had to be mean to me, okay? So that's it. I'm not putting up with that anymore, okay? Not putting up with that anymore. So this music is my music. So, and with this music, I'm dancing out of this video here. So, I'm flying out of the video. Me flying spaghetti monster. I'm flying right upstairs to the other figures that Nikki made. Okay, peace out.